Now that you have admin and channels, go to configure settings. The first thing you should do is make sure that the advanced box down the bottom is ticked. That gives you a lot more options and allows you to customize Mumble a whole lot more. To start with, audio input is your mic. Here you can increase the voice quality and everything else. Audio output is your speakers. You can increase how loud people are. User interface, you can have it 3 different ways. Classic, stacked, hybrid. I usually use stacked because it's the most like vent, which I prefer in look to Mumble. There's your shortcuts, which later on I'll show you how to add whisper or shout. Network, you can customize your network settings. Messages, you can add custom sounds to whatever message in Mumble at all, like if you kick someone. Here is the positional audio that's a Mumble specific, where wherever the person is talking to you in game is to what speaker it comes out of when they're talking to you in Mumble, so it sounds like they're actually behind you really in the game. It's a very nifty feature, good for playing hide and seek on Call of Duty 4. Here is the overlay, which you can enable at any time. You can also have it to show an FPS counter for you. You can have it the exception, so the overlay doesn't show up on those specific programs. The top right hand corner isn't the best place, so you can move it wherever you want and make it the size that you want. Doesn't matter, it's all customizable. Down in the middle is probably the best place to put it though. Now to the shout and whisper function, which is pretty much the same as vent. Click add function, it's the bottom one, shout and whisper. When you go data, if you want to whisper to a specific user, you use that. If you want to shout to a whole channel, which usually I like to shout to the whole server so everybody can hear me as announcements, click on the server you want, the channel, then go shout to linked channels and shout to sub channels so everybody can hear you. Click OK. Go to the shortcut, put it as something close to your normal talk button so it's easier to access. Suppress, when Mumble is running, that button is only going to work in Mumble, so if you have a mouse button it won't back in Firefox and IE, it'll only speak in Mumble. Here, as you can see, the red means you're talking locally and blue means you are whispering or shouting. Next, go configure audio's wizard. This is the basic thing you should probably do right at the start to make sure all of your equipment is working. It's really easy to go through and it's quite simple. Here you have the quality and notifications. Text to speech on if you don't like the annoying little lady that talks to you. Balance is the basic one, but if you're using a high quality server, you're best to go high, or if you want to customize, go to configure in the settings, like I showed you before, and you can set it manually to whatever you wish. The positional audio with the games, like I spoke about before. By going to self, you can record. There's a new feature in Mumble 1.2.3. You can save it as a few files anywhere on your computer. The quality is just as good, maybe even better than when you're actually talking. Ventura already had this built in before, but it's a new feature for Mumble and it's really quite handy. If you go self again, you can change the avatar, which you can choose any file on your computer. And for this one, I'll just choose an ExsiteGaming logo that I use for my avatar on Steam and forums, if I can find it. There it is. Now it will show up as a logo on your overlay when you're in a game instead of just a smiley face with heads, which is, so instead if you turn the names off you can just have pictures that light up. Here you can add a comment as well and it shows up on your comment. Right click, change comment on yourself. You can also check out your information, your ping and other various things if you need more info. And that's pretty much it. That's all the basic information on Mumble.